Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Rachel Williams begins now.
Good evening, everyone. The Launceston Police Station has come under attack, bombed by a Molotov cocktail last night. The brazen culprits are still on the run, and one of the state's top cops believes they're part of a crime syndicate.
10:50 on Cemetery Street, a shadowy figure lurks outside the police station car park before hurling a firebomb.
Had persons have been in the car park close by, they could very well have been killed or seriously injured.
Upon hearing the explosion, officers run out to inspect the blaze as it burns metres away from its intended target, 2 diesel generators.
Some of the liquid did end up on the tanks, but there was no risk or concern at that point because they're relatively safe and secure.
The damage minimal, the intent far from it.
Those types of devices are purely designed to cause death to people, to maim people and to cause significant property damage.
The Northern Police Commander believes the arsonists responsible are part of a local crime syndicate who deal in drugs and stolen property.
We've taken a very firm approach with attempting to curb their behaviour. We believe this is some type of response to that.
Authorities say this attack will not deter but rather intensify its ongoing investigations into the gang as the offenders tonight remain on the run. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
Emergency services have rescued a man who broke his ankle walking alone on a remote hiking track. The Westpac rescue helicopter, along with SES volunteers, helped winch the 56-year-old out of Horwell Falls in the state's north. He was transported to the Launceston General Hospital this afternoon, where he is now receiving treatment. Police are investigating an armed robbery at a Hobart pharmacy this afternoon. 2 men wearing black face masks entered the Amcal pharmacy on Elizabeth Street just after 2. They stole a quantity of prescription medication before fleeing through a rear entrance in the direction of Condell Place. Police spent the afternoon on the scene conducting searches of the surrounding area. The suspects were wearing dark clothing. Anyone with information is urged to call Crime Stoppers. Investigations are continuing into a shooting at a housing complex in Launceston on Thursday night. Just before 11:30, a number of shots were discharged into a unit complex in Lambert Street in Ravenswood, damaging the unit's front windows and walls. A female was inside at the time, however, there were no injuries. Police say the incident appears to be a targeted attack. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. More than 100 days since our first positive coronavirus diagnosis, Tasmania hit a milestone yesterday. 0 known active cases across the state. Tonight, we look at what this has meant for Tasmanians and what we need to look out for in the future, with experts warning that while we do sit in a comfortable position, the crisis is far from over throughout the world.
A milestone breakthrough for the state yesterday, with the last known coronavirus case confirmed as recovered. While the situation is easing in Tasmania, the rest of the world hasn't been so lucky. Tasmanian radiographer Nia Hardy has been working on the front line in London during the pandemic, experiencing firsthand the toll coronavirus can take.
1 week we were normal, and then the next week, it had completely taken over the hospital.
On Thursday, London recorded 151 coronavirus deaths, more than Australia has seen altogether.
I think it's important to realise that while, you guys deserve to celebrate, but it's certainly not over for the rest of the world yet. And you do have to keep that in mind.
As our restrictions begin to ease, the state is slowly starting to recover from the worst of the pandemic. We're seeing shopping centre car parks filled with weekend shoppers once more. Children are enjoying playgrounds again, and weekend coffee catch-ups at the beach are back, despite the cold conditions. But there's a warning.
We have a responsibility to remind ourselves that while restrictions may ease and things might go back to the way the business practices that they had beforehand, for each person, things cannot really change.
As an epidemiologist, Rosalie Woodruff has monitored the pandemic closely, both in Tasmania and across the world. She says she's concerned about the prospect of a second wave of cases, with the crisis internationally still growing.
We only have to look at what's happening around the planet. In the past 10 days, over 100,000 cases a day are being reported a day worldwide. And the highest number of cases, 136,000, was recorded just recently.
The Premier looking to the rest of the world as an example of why it's more important than ever to continue with social distancing and hygiene measures.
But what's really important for Tasmanians, and I want to stress this, is that we are in a good place and we need to remain there. And so people need to remain vigilant, they need to be sensible, and importantly, they need to use their common sense.
Ebony Ablett, 7 Tasmania News.
The state opposition says Tasmania's racing industry needs a support package to help it recover from the coronavirus shutdown. Labor says the industry has lost millions of dollars and was forced to cut jobs. They're calling on the government to follow Victoria's lead and help the 3 codes get back on their feet.
The only state to close down a racing industry, it's cost jobs, it's cost economic activity in the state. They need to stump up now and support the industry with a reasonable support package.
We've provided additional support with a $600,000 increase in stakes. But we'll continue to work with the industry to ensure that it can return to where it was.
The sport returns to the track tomorrow in Launceston for the first time since April. It's not often you see a tradie donning pink on the job, but a young plumber in Burnie is doing it for a good cause. 21-year-old Tristan McCulloch is wearing pink socks to increase awareness of breast cancer and is urging others to do the same.
For many of us, this has been one of the hardest years of our lives, even harder for Tristan McCulloch, who lost his mum Annette only months ago.
Mum got diagnosed in 2014 with stage 4 breast cancer, so it's probably the hardest battle to win.
An ongoing fight to beat the disease, tragically coming to an end at the age of just 58.
She was the life of the party, always smiling. Like everyone loved her.
Now the apprentice plumber is on a mission to ensure her life won't be in vain, repping pink socks on the job to highlight the cancer that kills 8 Australians a day.
You're kind of bringing a bit of attention to yourself, but that's what the main thing is about. Bring attention, bring that awareness. It sparks up that conversation. And yeah, it's really that early detection and that awareness.
The 21-year-old making the important fashion statement, adding shoelaces and beanies. From Monday, his colleagues will all join the Bright initiative.
We encourage every tradie across the country to pull on their pink socks and support Tristan and all those affected by breast cancer.
Every day, 55 men and women are diagnosed with breast cancer in Australia. Tristan hopes they will discover the disease before it's too late.
If I can help one person get that early detection, that's my goal done. Doesn't matter if it's 1 or 100.
Pink gear can be purchased from the Breast Cancer Network Australia website. Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
The Tasmanian football community is mourning the loss of one of the icons of the game. Jeffrey Paddy Martin passed away yesterday, just weeks before his 93rd birthday. Paddy was inducted into the Tasmanian Hall of Fame as a legend in 2005, elevated to an icon in 2015. As a player, he represented the state multiple times, as well as playing locally for Launceston, Sandy Bay, Ulverston and Burnie. He is also being remembered for his coaching successes, including guiding Burnie to successive premierships between 1958 and 1960. Tasmania's junior soccer will return at the beginning of the next school term, 3 months after the sport was forced to shut down due to the coronavirus outbreak. Players will also receive a present on return to their club, with Football Tasmania to give every registered player a free ball.
It's been a long winter for Tasmania's next generation of soccer superstars. Postponed since March due to the coronavirus pandemic, they've been kept off the field in a bid to slow the spread, with many itching to get back into it.
I love it. It's so fun competing with other players. I'm only a goal shooter or a defender.
And they'll soon be kicking goals once again. Football Tasmania confirming juniors will resume in Term 3, with games allowed to recommence.
Not only is it offer physical benefits for kids, obviously, but just that social interaction with their friends, which they've also been missing because many of them haven't been at school, and now they're back at school, which is great.
Those returning will receive a special gift. My State Bank and Southern Cross Austereo owners of this station, joining forces with Football Tasmania to ensure every registered player receives a free match ball.
It will be wonderful to see children out playing again and for the parents to be able to get together as well on Saturday mornings.
So this would be a great outcome for the kids, and they'll be able to use it at home, they'll be able to take it to school and obviously take it to training as well.
Grounds, however, will look and feel different, with social distancing measures in place at all games.
Being asked questions when you arrive at training and games and so on, and also hygiene practices, sanitiser, entry and exit points and that sort of thing.
For the little ones, though, they just want to play.
I love playing sport and I always used to have the ball in my hands.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Good evening. Hobart reached a high of 10 today, 15 across Launceston, Burnie and Devonport. Eddystone was the state's top, reaching 18. Flinders Island and Strawn a high of 16, 14 about Lowhead and Grove and 17 at Friendly Beaches. On the close-up, extensive cloud covers the state. Further out shows a cloud band over Victoria and New South Wales with a cold front approaching. Tomorrow, a cold front is crossing Tasmania and moving into New South Wales as a ridge dominates most of the mainland. Northerly winds tomorrow 15 to 25 knots, reaching 30 knots about the west. Swells up to 3 metres in the west and south and up to 1 metre in the north. A gale warning is current for western and northern coastal waters from Low Rocky Point to St Helens Point for northwesterly winds, and a strong wind warning for eastern coastal waters as well as the southwest and central plateau lakes. Tomorrow's forecast now: showers increasing with a high of 15 right across Hobart, Richmond and Ooze. In the north, showers and 14 about Launceston and Devonport, Deloraine 12. Burnie and Strawn tomorrow 14 and showers, becoming windy 15 at Curry. Showers at St Helens 15 across Swansea and Whitemark. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast: Monday fine about the east coast, showers elsewhere. Tuesday showers across the state, mostly fine at the east coast, and Wednesday showers about the south coast and central areas. Capital City is 21 and showers in Perth tomorrow. Melbourne 15 and sunny with a high of 33 in Darwin. And currently Hobart partly cloudy, Launceston 11 and Devonport 12 and mostly cloudy. That's all for weather tonight, Rach.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Jackie. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Take care and good night.